What's good, sports family? So yes, we have another breaking news in the NFL, and yes, as well as, again, in the Jets organization. Yesterday we talked about defensive coordinator being fired. Now today we are talking about the wide receiver being released. And this one is, as you see in the title, Allen Lazard. So why did he get released? Well, let's dive into it now. So the first thing is, there's a couple of key factors why he got released. The number one is he was no longer in the Jets' plan. Lazard didn't have a consistent role with the Jets on offense this season. He was even a healthy scratch this past game. And also, multiple games, coaches and the new front office made it clear he wasn't being relied on in the offense. Second one is he requested the release. Lazard asked to be released because he wants a chance to join a contender and play meaningful snaps late in the season. Third one, association with the Rodgers era. Lazard originally came to the Jets largely because of his connection with Aaron Rodgers, which, as you guys already know, he played with him in Green Bay for a couple of those years. And with Rodgers gone, that link was gone too, making him less essential to the rebuild. And fourth one, disappointing performance versus expectation. He arrived with a big contract, $44 million over 4 years, but his production never lived up to that investment. Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense. First one, he was no longer the Jets' plan. Okay, great. Should let him go beforehand. Didn't happen, but now you do. Alright. But then again, he was healthy scratch in all those games he played with the Jets. Why didn't he want to play? We're not sure. Maybe it was Aaron Rodgers not playing, so he just wanted to, catch the ball from Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he didn't like the coaches. Maybe he didn't like the quarterbacks. That wasn't Aaron Rodgers. And then he requested a release to join a contender. Bro, you literally barely had any, catches this year. Even last year. Who's going to want you on their team that's contending? Plus, 3 games left. I think everyone's good. I don't think they really need Allen Lazard. He's not a game changer. He's not a veteran type of Adam Thielen, So it doesn't make any sense. And then, again, with the Aaron Rodgers era, he only joined the Jets because of Rodgers. As soon as Rodgers left or barely played, he barely played. And then, the contract was a lot. I don't know why we gave him that much money. He wasn't worth that much money. He just wasn't. But so now let's talk about the stats. The stats of the Jets' career is 2023 to 2025. Total with the Jets, 3 seasons. He had 70 receptions, 911 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns in 36 games. 911 receiving yards, that should be counted as for 1 season, not 3 seasons. So you see how much games he missed. A lot. Year-by-year breakdown. 2023 signed a 4-year, $44 million contract before the 2023 season. He finished with 23 catches for 311 yards and 1 touchdown. 2024, he improved production. 37 receptions, 530 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So somewhat better. And 2025, big drop in usage. Only 10 catches for 70 yards and 1 touchdown in 10 games before release. So, make it short, he had a solid 2024, but his 2025 numbers were just bad. So what went wrong? This is what I think went wrong. A lack of role and team direction. Lazard simply wasn't part of the offensive game plan and rarely played meaningful snaps in 2025 automatically. Coaching and change and rebuild. The Jets fired their previous coaching staff and front office after struggling result. New leadership is focused on younger players and building for the future rather than playing veterans with limited upside. Yep. But I think it's mainly due Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it's due because of the rebuild. I think it's mainly due to Aaron Rodgers because during that time you can see something a little fishy. It's just weird. What's next for the Jets, after release of Allen Lazard? Well, with Allen Lazard gone, the Jets will likely give more playing time to the younger wideouts. They want to develop for the future. Automatically, you want to do that. That's what they're trying to do that right now. possible new addition, the Jets could sign a trade for another receiver who fits better in their long-term plan, who can contribute more consistent. Not now, but it seems like it's more likely in the off season. Not right now, because the season's almost over. Why would they do that, Now, rebuild focus. The Jets have struggled this season, currently 3-11, and are clearly shifting toward a rebuild with younger talent and cap flexibility. Automatically, they're trying to rebuild. They had the Aaron Rodgers saga. They had something going on, and then now back to rebuilding once again. Now, where will Allen Lazard go to? Well, there's a couple of places, but it sounds like more likely Pittsburgh because of Rodgers. So, I highly doubt Pittsburgh because they already have Adam Thielen. They already have DK Metcalf. They have other young wide receivers. So why would they bring in Allen Lazard? If they do, I'll be a little bit shocked because you already have a bunch of wideouts. Why would you add Lazard? So I'll be pretty shocked, but in a way, I feel the Steelers may just be nice because of Rodgers. But we will see. It sounds like I have a weird feeling. If for some reason the Steelers do make it into the playoffs, they might sign Allen Lazard. They might. But if they don't, they're not going to. And I don't think any other team is willing to sign him because he really hasn't done anything. At least for Adam Thielen, when he got signed with the Steelers, he at least did something for the Panthers. He played every game. Lazard didn't. So they're like, why would we sign him if he barely played for the Jets? We're not sure if he's gonna do the same thing for us, So I'm not sure where Allen Lazard was gonna do. It sounds like it's up in the air right now. Depending on how the Steelers move forward, and also depending on if any other team is gonna be injured with wide receivers, even though 3 games left in the season. So it's gonna be a small option for him to go anywhere because when Thielen signed, it was like a couple of games more left, so teams kind of were fighting for that playoff spot. Now, more than likely not, he may not be signed until the off season. But as for the Jets, yeah, man, they're just trying to rebuild. They should have been doing this since the beginning of the season. They should have released him, maybe even last year. He really hasn't contributed whatsoever. It was kind of like, why did we sign him in the first place? But what are you going to do? It's the Jets. I don't know why I'm a fan of it, but hey, I'm not a trader. I'm not trying to be a different team. And yeah, guys, let me know in the comments. Do you like this? Do you not like this being released? Allen Lazard? Let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next video.